Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is May 4th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage an apocalyptic, earth-changing event targeting the United States on the evening of May 4th of 2026, specifically to trigger all-out nuclear World War III. So before I get into the potential scenarios, which are blinking red, I just want to highlight really quickly the numerology. As with all political assassinations, terror attacks, and acts of war, they always, and I mean always, have the numeric signature of the CIA in Switzerland, which is executing the attack. And of course, in this particular operation, which I'm calling Operation Deep Six, it is no different. Firstly, the date of May 4th, so we have a 5 and a 4. The 5 is symbolically the letter S, which is the 19th letter, and then we have the 4, which is 4, so we have 419. This is a blood sacrifice number as evidenced by the Oklahoma City bombing of April 19th of 1995, and as well as the Waco massacre of April 19th of 1993. And these are ritualistic blood sacrifices of children offered up to the Swiss CIA. And this is because modern-day Switzerland was founded with the constitutional referendum of the Swiss Constitution back on April 19th of 1878. So this impending attack today on May 4th is a blood sacrifice to Switzerland and her CIA. Also, the date of May 4th, May Day, because we have May, and then the 4th is D. The number 4 equates to the letter D as in day or die, and May Day is a distress signal because the CIA plans to stage a horrific event targeting the United States on this particular date. Also, the date of May 4th is MD. May is M and 4 is D is MD. That's a doctor, is the MD, medical doctor, and that is because the CIA is planning to stage a biological outbreak or a pandemic on the date of May 4th. Lastly, the date of May 4th is May the 4th be with you. This is a Star Wars slogan because the CIA is planning on utilizing Star Wars. As we know, Ronald Reagan was on the cover of Time magazine with Star Wars. This has to do with ICBM, nuclear missile technology, and so the CIA is planning on staging ICBM nuclear missile strikes on the date of May 4th. So exactly what type of event is planned is obviously not known, but based off the numerology, we can deduce that a Pearl Harbor-like surprise attack is imminent, which is going to spawn a second global biological outbreak and subsequent pandemic, which is also going to feature nuclear attacks as pretext for all-out World War III. And so, as I've detailed ad nauseum, the CIA has been plotting a joint Chinese, Iranian, and Russian attack on the United States, and that appears to be what is in order for this evening. And so before the CIA can create this type of attack and make it believable, they have to have these three countries work together, so it appears as if they're plotting some sort of heinous attack. And before I get into the naval drills, I just want to highlight the fact that this impending attack is going to be blamed on China, Iran, and Russia, but it's really going to be executed in real life by Israel, by the state of Israel, by her Navy, by her Air Force, by her Mossad, and by her government of the state of Israel. So I'm going to get into it a little bit quicker or later, but I just want to highlight the fact that these three countries have been organizing certain events together, the latest of which was Operation Will for Peace, which was the Navy of China, Iran, and Russia off the coast of the Republic of South Africa back on January 9th through the 16th of 2026. So the date of May 4th marks exactly 108 days, 109 days South African time, and of course the number 19 or 109 or 19 equates to the letter S, which is an acronym for Switzerland. Secondly, the date of May 4th marks exactly 123 days since Guy Parmelin became president of Switzerland back on January 1st of 2026. Of course, because the CIA is in Switzerland, then they're queuing off these numbers. Number 123 equals ABC, which is atomic, biological, and chemical, because that is in fact what type of attack is planned on this particular date. Also, the date of May 4th is exactly 124 days of the year. So it's the 124th day of the year of 2026. And of course, 24 equates to the letter X, which is known internationally as a symbol of death. And then if we take the 1 and plus the letter X, it forms a hexagram, and that is found on the Star of David, and Switzerland, of course, being the first Jewish state that is organizing this attack. And then they're going to have the third Jewish state of Israel execute the attack, and of course, they have the hexagram featured on their flag in the Star of David. Also, the date of May 4th marks exactly 1,366 days since the CIA executed Operation Breaking Dawn, which was the IDF's activation of 25,000 reservist troops back on August 5th through the 7th of 2022. These are the troops that are going to be used to storm Washington, D.C. on the evening of May 4th under the guise of an Iranian attack on the United States. And of course, the number 1366, this has the number 16, which is reflected in the 16-pointed star of the CIA, and it also has the number 66, or 2 sixes, which equates to the letter Z, which is an acronym for Zionism, and that is in fact the political motivation behind this impending attack designed to trigger World War III. The date of May 4th also marks 1,563 days since the CIA executed Operation Chiru 22, which was the Chinese, Iranian, and Russian Navy executing a top-secret naval exercise in the Indian Ocean back on January 22 of 2022. And of course, this also has the number 16, which is reflected in the 16-pointed CIA star. Also, the date of May 4th marks exactly 2,316 days since the CIA executed a joint naval exercise with China, Iran, and Russia in the Indian Ocean as well back on December 31st of 2019. Again, this number has the number 16, which is reflected in the 16-pointed logo of the CIA star, as well as the number 26, which equates to the letter Z, which is an acronym for Zionism, which, as mentioned, is in fact the political motivation behind this impending attack. Lastly, the date of May 4th marks exactly 2,516 days since the CIA staged the Shanghai Cooperation Summit, the SCO Summit, in Beijing, China, between Chinese President Xi Jinping, Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, and Russian President Vladimir Putin. They were all photographed together back on June 14th of 2019. And of course, this number again has the number 16, which is reflected in the 16-pointed star of the CIA found in their logo, as well as the number 26, which equates to the letter Z, which is an acronym for Zionism. So we can see that all the numbers have the number 16, 26, and of course 24 and 19, which are all linked to Switzerland. So this impending attack is likely going to transpire on the evening of May 4th. Coincidentally, this is the evening of the Met Gala in New York City, which is one of the cities that is going to be attacked. So they're going to kill hundreds of celebrities in a ritualistic blood sacrifice. And of course, on the evening of May 4th, there's also the Philadelphia 76ers are playing at the New York Knicks. So we have a game in Madison Square Garden, and then we have the Met Gala at the, I believe it's at the Metropolitan Art Museum, if I'm not mistaken. And then we also have the San Diego Padres at the San Francisco Giants, which is going to be live on ESPN. And then we have the Philadelphia Flyers playing at the Carolina Hurricanes, which is also being broadcast across the United States and Canada. So we have 4 different live events, and so this impending attack is going to transpire during these live events, which is all of them are going to have a large number of viewers, and then suddenly this event is going to happen. So based off of the numerology and based off the drills, what I can deduce thus far is that the CIA is going to stage an alleged Iranian storming attack targeting Washington, D.C. This is going to feature fires, bombings, mass shootings. It's going to be basically Israeli Mossad or IDF soldiers storming Washington, D.C., and basically laying siege to D.C. This was reflected in the movies called Olympus. I believe it's called, what is it called? Olympus Has Fallen. And then there was another Washington, D.C. one. I'm forgetting, but there's two different movies of special forces related attack on Washington, D.C. One of them was, anyway, it doesn't matter. And so we're expecting a massive attack allegedly by Iran targeting Washington, D.C. So this is the first attack that is going to draw in all the viewers from the aforementioned live programming, as well as all the people that are watching Fox News, CNN, and the BBC, and all the news channels around the world. Then what we're going to have is we're going to have an alleged Chinese naval submarine-based attack targeting eastern seaboard cities, including but not limited to Baltimore, New York City, Philadelphia, Boston, and Washington, D.C. So a future scenario in which alleged Chinese submarines are sending 9/11 style kamikaze suicide drone bombing attacks, ballistic missile strikes, cruise missile strikes, torpedo strikes, and airstrikes targeting those cities. So basically, we're going to have missiles coming into the city, drones coming into the city, cruise missiles coming into the city, and it's going to be a massive barrage. In reality, this is going to be a full-on assault by German-made Dolphin-class submarines of the of the Israeli Navy. So we're going to have the Mossad storming D.C., then we're going to have the Israeli Navy launch a massive bombardment attack targeting probably 5 cities on the eastern seaboard. People are going to be burned alive. They're probably going to use chemical weapons, probably blood agents, choking agents, nerve agents, and basically chemical weapons that are banned by the Chemical Weapons Commission of the world and the UN. So this is going to be a horrific attack. People are going to be burning alive in the streets. This is all going to be orchestrated by Israel, their Mossad, through the CIA in Switzerland. After this attack is taking place for an hour or two, then the CIA is going to cap it off with a Russian nuclear attack targeting multiple locations in the United States. I can assure you that New York City and Washington, D.C. will be struck, and then what the third one is, I don't know, but it possibly will be Chicago, possibly Jackson Park, where Obama built his Obama Presidential Library, and I believe that this is a massive, because in reality, I'm not going to get into it in this video, but nuclear bombs do not exist. Large explosions do. So if they put 100,000 or 1 million tons of TNT, or liquid nitroglycerin, which is the single most explosive compound on Earth, beneath the Obama Memorial, and then they send a massive missile in and they hit it, that's going to explode. People are going to think it's a nuke. So that's a realistic possibility. Chicago, New York, and DC. So obviously, if this attack transpires, it's going to change the world. It's going to change everything that we know. World War III will be declared against China, Iran, and Russia. The United States will go under martial law, and it's virtually certain, 100% certain, that U.S. President Donald J. Trump and or J.D. Vance will be killed in this attack. It's 100% Trump is going to be killed. Whether they want to bring J.D. Vance in or they want to go straight to Obama is not known. But it's more than likely that both of them will be killed in the strike on Washington, D.C., and then Barack Hussein Obama will come to the rescue of the United States, and he will lead the United States into World War III against China, Iran, and Russia. This is the plan. It's going to happen on the evening of May 4th, 2026, May Day, and this is what's planned. Obviously, in the aftermath of this video, it's highly likely that the CIA would resort to Plan B or Plan C, which may feature a 9/11 style nuclear terror attack or some other type of horrific event. But what we know is that they're planning on staging a DEFCON level event, a biological outbreak, or a nuclear event on the day of May 4th. Now, this may happen, of course, in the United States. It's planned for Washington, D.C. the eastern seaboard and or the greater United States. But in the aftermath of this report, it's highly likely that they would reload and do an event elsewhere in the world on the date of May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, which would be aired live in the United States during the aforementioned live programming event on the evening of May 4th. But nonetheless, the numerology is all Swiss, it's all Jewish, and it's all Israeli. And this means that they're going to attack because they only attack on numbers that are called kill numbers. And the date of May 4th is a kill number if there ever was one. And so a massive attack is expected. So obviously if that happens, I kindly ask you to download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.